Okay, Mr. Uche, I'm still with him. So I have one more question for him, Mr. Uche. So, in as a realtor, what are the challenges that people face as a realtor, real estate management, or people that want to buy land? What are the challenges you face, especially in Ibejuleki, which is the new target market for real estate, Lagos?
Okay. Ibejuleki is the new Lagos. You all know that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. And on today's episode of the show, I have a special guest, Dr. Jeremy Ademola. He is a developer, the CEO and founder of Property Day Nigeria Limited, a real estate development company in Lagos, and recently moved to Ibadan with about 3 estates and counting. So the video you saw at the beginning was some 4 years ago, 2020, just after the coronavirus ravaged us. And quick backstory: we both went to the same uni. We both had our undergrad at the University of Benin, and shortly after we graduated, we both delved into real estate. And so, in that video, and this is going to talk more about it, we had trekked all the way from that Abraham Adesoya Gombo junction to Landways Urban Prime 2, where we were shooting some content for real estate. None of us had a car. It was just, I think we were still both staying with either our uncle, and he was staying with his, I was staying with my uncle, living, squatting with them, was staying with his sister. But this um such a difference 4 years makes, and in real estate, and that's what we'll be talking about. We're talking about the power of real estate to change your life, and the power of patience, and also compounding in real estate. So welcome, Dr. Jerry. Welcome to this
Thank
episode.
you.
He's a regular a regular face on this channel. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming.
thank you for having me, Modi. Thank you so much for being on this channel. Hi, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, what? Let me start from that. You
Okay.
studied ISD, International
Studies and diplomacy. Yeah.
Studies and Diplomacy. But what got you into real estate?
Okay. I think let's start from the top, right? So I
Okay.
want to be very real here. So, all right. So after uni, you know, I spent some time in Benin trying to. I worked with Jumia, and then I was running a music studio. I'm actually a professional musician, all right? So I run a music studio, did music, trained churches, trained schools and individuals. So then again, I had a drive, and the drive I had was I want to make a lot of money. And by making a lot of money means I want to make a lot of impact. And I've always been an impact person. Even while I was in school, I was mentoring some people. And I'm sure Emoji remember some of those guys. And ladies, we were mentoring it. So we had personally, I had those drive. I had that drive of mentoring people, of just getting people to learn stuff and grow and everything. So I discovered that what I was doing there could not help me at that point. So I left Benin. I went to Lagos, and I did my service in Benue. Then I redeployed to Lagos. Then while serving in Lagos, I did some 1 or 2 jobs. I worked in ICO, America International Insurance Company, for I think about a month or two. I worked in Food Co. I worked in just tried a lot of stuff, tried to get my hand in the corporate world. But then again, it was never for money. From school days, I've been an entrepreneur in school days. Paying salaries as a student. So that's been the drive. But I just want to just get my hands on, them just see how this corporate world works. But then again, it was only for me. So, and I discovered that a time my dad bought real estate. Then my dad was into real estate, kind of, he was a pastor. So he had people he stood as witness for to buy land. And
Mhm.
a particular time we're broke, so we needed to pay our school fees. We are about how many children? Six, 7 children. We want to pay our school fees. About 3 of us were in school then. My dad sold a land. After he sold the land, he paid the school fees and he had a lot of money. And I remember I put that in my mind, like, wow, just a land. So it stuck to me that, okay. But then again, it was not really something fascinating to me at that point. So fast forward to, I think before COVID, Also, yes, before COVID. Uh, uh, so I'll be picking interest in real estate, right? Because I came to Lagos and I was seeing every time billboard everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing real estate.
Yeah, no, right.
That okay before then, okay, before COVID. So I was I think 2018. So I was seeing everything real estate. How was going on in real estate? So I picked interest, going to do my research. I discovered the top guys then were reading P1. So their names were there. I mentioned some real estate that were reading then. So I just picked interest, and there's one of my kind of family friend. So it's a big man. I used to say he's my mentor in real estate. So Mr. Smart. So Ambassador Smart. So I reached out to him. Somehow, I met him through my uncle. We spoke. I told him how to work with him. And cut long story short, he said I should come and work with him as his PA.
Mm.
And my salary was 60,000 naira. I said, okay. So my own was that I was there just to learn, because I
Yeah.
discovered that, your industry determines how much you earn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's why real estate, you can earn as much as possible. You just
Mm-hmm.
define how much you earn and go for it. So I
Mm-hmm.
went and I worked for the man, and I learned a lot from him. A few years I worked with him, and that was how I started doing realtor work. I sold for P1. I sold for a lot of developers. I
Mm-hmm.
was selling real estate, houses, land, majorly. So I was
Mm-hmm.
getting the experience, and my first sales of land that I got commission, I could not believe my eyes.
Mm.
I like my six months salary in just one deal. I was like, no,
Mm.
I did not work.
You didn't
Just
remember
a
how
deal I
much it
got.
was?
I think it was a 300 something there. Then
Mm-hmm.
I think the next one I got was 570 or so, and like that. So that's how I started to wait. This real estate is crazy, man. So um, I think then if I called a couple of my friends that okay, I had land, I wanted to, so I started doing. I was, I learned cold calls. Some people, they're shying away from calling people that they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Calls to pitch business to them. I've left. I don't get shame for that one.
Yeah.
Like if you get shame for making calling
The
people,
sale.
then you should have shame for poverty.
Mm.
Poverty no get shame.
Right, right.
So like that video that day that we did that video, we were hungry.
Yeah.
We were broke, and I was sleeping on the couch. And I'm actually 6 foot 4 inches, my height. So imagine sleeping on a 5 foot kind of chair, and the hands are up like this, both sides. My neck was always paining me. Me and Aboniki were 5 and 6. I kept on using
Mm.
Aboniki almost every week because my neck was paining me, trying to, So those are the things that motivated me to keep pushing. Then
Mm.
so I reached out to a friend of mine. I said, okay, I have land. The guy who connected me to one guy, and they bought land. The paper I sold, and I've been to say, okay, this is amazing. This real estate is no speaking. Of course, there are
Mm.
challenges there as a realtor. When I was, before I became a developer, there were challenges, a lot of challenges that were there. So, but then again, I kept pushing because I think the biggest challenge you can ever pass through is poverty. When poverty
Mm.
has sat you down on a Monday morning, I think you need to be motivated to push. So, so that I said after a while, and I'm a kind of person, I am not shy about my faith.
Mm.
I'm not shy about my faith. Yes, I'm a believer. So no matter what, I think the higher you go in life, the more closer you should be with God. So
To
I
God, yeah.
think I've had my share. So I'm not shy about that. I'm going to save that. So whatever I do, I talk to God about it. I prayed about, okay, I'm doing real estate, blah blah. At the point I was confused, should I do real estate? I'm also a musician, I'm also this and that. Then again, I was praying, confused. God, I'm making money real estate now. Before then, so I was still with my sister. Then I moved, I was still with my uncle, then I moved to my sister's house. I was staying with her. I was still making small change that and so I got a particular amount of money, as in millions. I didn't tell my sister.
Tell
Because
us, how much was that? How much was it?
okay, then it's almost about 4.8 million or so. It
Mm-hmm.
was big money then.
Mm-hmm.
So the money came to me in trickles, right? Maybe like
Mm-hmm.
twice, I think two times, yes, but in the space of 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
So 4.8 million naira. So and I was staying with my sister. So I'm like, okay, it's time for me to get a house. And I read a book, right? When you want to go fishing big. And when you want to do big things, don't cause us small minds. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was like, okay, what do I do? Then one of my mentors tell me, he said, when you want to do big things, right? If money is involved, or maybe you want to do two things. One is small, one is big. And you ask yourself, if money is involved, which one will you go for? Of course, you go for the big one. So I went for the big one. And I was okay. The first house I'm going to get in Lagos will be a two-bedroom house. Normally in Lagos, you first get the self-contained. From there, you enter mini
Yeah.
flats. From there, you
Mm-hmm.
enter two-bedroom. You marry in that one bedroom.
Yeah.
Move when you're not born. All those kind of many stuff. But then I don't believe in that. I never
Mm.
had that mindset right from school days. So, but I just told myself, no, I'm going to go for the big one. And I got a house. And the person
Mm.
that was staying in the house just got the house. Everything, the television, the couch, in the two rooms, the bed, the frames, generator, everything was just new. The man does not stay there. And I just told me, okay,
Mm.
this is how much I'm going to, for the house rent, this is how much, this is the things in the house, is almost 2 million. I said, hey, how much? Ah, okay, I said, no problem. I just paid for the house and I got to the house. So I will stay. This is funny, right? It's still part of the things we are saying. So I will stay in my sister's house one night. The following night, I'm going to stay there. I'll tell her I'm going to my friend's house. 'Cause I didn't know how to bring it to her. That, okay, mama,
Mm.
I don't see.
Mm.
The one that just invited her to my house, I said, okay, come. She's your house. I don't understand. So we went to the place. She was dumbfounded. Like, you got this kind of people. Like,
You got
it's too
this.
big now. What the hell? It's too big. She was surprised. "Ah, come on, this is crazy. I'm like, that's why I didn't tell you. So this is it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's fine, no. Hey, it's fine, no. It's fine, no. The rest is history. After a while, I got a car.
Mm.
That car's another story. So I bought a car, and from there, so I was still doing realtor work. Then again, one day, like I say, I'm a believer. I was studying the Bible, trying to know what to move, the way to go forward from there. So as I was opening the Bible, I was praying. Then I opened, my spiritual spirit told me about my name. My name is Jeremiah. See Jeremiah 32. And I remember, okay, 32, verse 15. I was reading through, I got verse 15. I discovered that real estate was in the Bible. So Jeremiah 32, the whole 32 to verse 15, 16, it's
Mm-hmm.
actually real estate
Mm-hmm.
transaction. So you can learn now. This is for everybody who do real estate. You can learn this transaction from Jeremiah 32. Whereby you
Mm.
open the Bible, you see number one, there will be a landowner, there will be a
Mm-hmm.
witness, means in your
Mm-hmm.
contract of sale, there will be a contract of sale, there will be a deed of assignment. So everything is in your Bible. So go check it out, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw it. I'm like, I saw real estate Bible. I don't even know. I got to verse 15. Then I saw in verse 15, like the Bible says that, and the Lord of hosts said, properties will be sold here again.
Mm.
Those statements came to my head. Property will be sold. I kept on muttering the word over and over again. For no reason, but I knew that there was something I was trying to get there. Then
Mm.
suddenly the word property and here stood up from the scripture that so much I was like, property here, property here, property there. A word, so something just jumped from my mouth, property day here. Now you might think I'm just this fanatic, but then again, I'm just telling you how it is because it's
Mm.
my story. I'm telling the
Mm-hmm.
way it is. So property here, property day here. And I wrote it down, property day here. I'm like, okay, what does it mean? Then I'm like, property day here, property day. And I said, property day organization, property day property day limited. So limited is down, and I called the lawyer first. Alpha, please let me check this name on CAC. Does it exist? He said, that name is weird. It's unique. It does not exist. And nobody, not even anybody bearing it. I don't need to change anything. It's just unique property day
Mm.
here. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. I told my friend, his name is Easy. He's a Smith.
Mm.
He's a singer. He's a popular gospel artist. He's our guy.
Yeah, it's
So I
our
just told
guy.
the guy, we were together. I'm like, bro, how far? I want to start company. The guy was like, okay. He didn't even, sometimes that are good friends. People like
Yeah.
Uche, MODA now. You
Yeah.
tell them stuff. They don't say, bro, yeah, you sure? They just tell you go for it. They just say, okay.
Mm.
And these are the kind of friends you should keep as people, not people that, when you do big things, like I said, don't consult small minds.
Small
Go for
minds.
your guys that have the same mindset. So I told
100%.
I also brought for this, and he's a graphic so he just the first thing, let's design a logo. Then I had no idea about running a company. All I had was street sense of paying
Mm.
salaries, doing entrepreneurship, hustling. I know me at the hustle. I don't. There's nothing I've not done when it comes to hustling. And if my parents watch this, they'll be surprised if I see some things I've done. We've done no strange job. Okay, let me not go into details. I hope they don't watch this. All right. They sent us to school. We're busy working up and down. Me and Uche. Doing organizing stuff in school there. All right. So
Yeah.
so that's how my friend just we designed the logo P and everything. Amazing. And I started doing I got money. So before I knew it, an investor came. Said, okay, Alpha, I love your idea. Okay, I have some money. Take some money. hey, can give me some millions?
Yeah.
Like
Can
that.
you
Okay, no
can
problem.
you can you tell us? Yeah, like I would
10
like us to
million.
be 10 million. Okay.
Yeah, investor gave me 10 million naira. Then that was like the biggest money I've
So
seen.
okay, so let me ask a question there.
Go
So
ahead.
this
Yeah.
was around the time that you incorporated your company.
Yes.
So did you approach
Yes.
him or he approached you? And how was
Okay.
how did he find you?
Okay, what I did even at that point, I didn't have a company account number. I had personal account that I used to collect,
Mm-hmm.
realtor money, commissions. So,
Mm-hmm.
but what I did, I told my friends that care to hear that, okay, bro, I have a company, I have a business, and this is the vision, this is my strategy, this is my plan, this is what I'm giving investors. And most of them spoke to people. So if one of them spoke to someone, the person was interested, like, okay, I love this idea in real estate. Okay, I want to partner. And the guy, that's how the guy came. So it came based on what we pitched out there, what I
Mm-hmm.
put out there. So I'm actually prone to bring investors because we've paid out investors, people that have come and invested with us, with that amount of money. You say, okay, 100 million, 50 million, what do you want to do? Okay, this is the exit strategy.
Mm-hmm.
This is your
Mm-hmm.
return investment. We'll just tell them as it is, and they
Yeah.
get paid out. So that's how we do in our
Mm-hmm.
company. So that's what the guy got interested and came in and gave us the money. And the money went a long way. We immediately secured some properties. I hustled, got one or two things in place, got land. Even though at first the first property we got was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that it
Which
was.
we've spoken about before.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
yeah,
we'll,
in a
we'll
video.
quickly brush on it. But also part of the things you got like an office space, right?
Yeah, I did. Yes, I got an office
Mm-hmm.
space, the very small cubicle like that. Just I had to use the glass, something aluminium to cover my secretary. So my office was just. I think I'll share a picture of that.
Yeah.
How small
Yeah.
the office
We'll
was.
show it on the bureau.
Yeah, a client
Yeah.
walked into my office one time and said, "Bro, man, if I give you my money, you run." I said, "I'm like, bro." So it was so funny, guys. I'm gonna run if I give you my money. I was like, "Why?" He said, "Look at your office. It's not as big as my toilet." I'm like, "Jesus."
Oh my god.
I've suffered, suffered in this business.
Honestly.
You know,
But like, I mean, just as you said, you're a believer. It also goes down to like not despising the days of little
to
beginning.
begin. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But then I think there's something that I really, really see that jumps out is the fact that like the audacity to dream big. Because you could
Mm.
have also been okay, just being a realtor, collecting realtor commission, but like you stepped it a notch higher. And for
Can
people
I
that
can
are
I add something?
okay, sure.
Yeah, as you said that because if I had known that entrepreneurship is this hard,
If I
I would
stick
have
to
just
video,
been voila. There's a lot we cannot say. But this is just me encouraging anybody that's an entrepreneur, please, purely in
mm,
this part of the world,
mm,
kudos to you. You are a
yeah,
man. For
honestly.
even as a realtor too, you are also an entrepreneur. Like
Hmm.
especially in this part, doing business part of the world. Also for investors, because if you're an investor in Nigeria, that makes you automatically an entrepreneur because of the
Yeah.
system. So just
Yes.
for those every entrepreneur out
Which
there, yeah.
yeah. I mean, and also piggyback on that before I go back to what I was saying. Like the fact that like how do you feel like the fact that like people like families are depending on you at the end of the month? Like what's your staff strength?
We just downsized. We're looking for, one of the hardest job as a CEO is to
Hmm.
get the right people.
Mm.
We've currently, I think we have 28
Oh
staffs.
wow.
We had 32, but we had to down. Some people were, 30,
They were not
28 now.
serious.
28.
They were not
Yeah,
serious.
yeah. It's the
But
hardest job to do, recruiting. Yes, trust me.
But that's
It's,
crazy. Like I mean, I'm not going to ask you your wage bill, but in this sort of economy, having to pay that many people and that many people, I can remember one time when we're having a conversation, and it's not commission based. You pay them like a salary.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So so whether they sell or not, I know some real estate developers that give I'm not going to call names that give
Mhm.
their members of staff targets just for them to earn their own salary, and so it's really really impressive in such a short time. And he was talking about, like, his first office. I think you have moved twice now. So he moved
Yeah,
in that same plaza, that same complex, to a bigger place. Then now he has moved to Ikota and moved from
yeah.
a few members of staff to 28 now. But then what I was saying before was that, like, a common thread in his story was dreaming big and, like, taking the next big step. And for some of you, it's people that have not like invested in real estate at all. So the next big step is for you to make your first investment. For some other people, it's people that have been investing maybe one plot. The next big step is to probably get an acre. So for some other people, you've been getting, acres, is to move from being an investor, which gets the last, like, the last byproduct of people that have taken the risk, to actually become a developer or an off-taker in projects, which you can also partner with Mr. Jerry. But now let's talk about your your project and the places that you actually have presence now, and things that you're doing. From the short story that we've been seeing, you have the Midas touch. Whatever you touch turns into gold. And I think these are the type of individuals that you see and you partner with, and you see that they have they're level-headed. They've been able to take something from nothing, from small, and make it something really big. So tell us more about what you're doing currently. Tell us more about how our viewers, people that are watching, how they can partner with you, how they can support what you do, or kind of work with you in any way, manner, shape, or form.
All right. Okay. What we do currently, we have a project in Ibadan called Tiwantiwa Phase 3. Phase 1 and Phase 2 was a banger, sold out in 2 weeks, out Phase 2 in 1 month. People were rushing. Now, people will ask, why Ibadan? Why not Lagos? We still have in Lagos though, but then again, Ibadan is an untapped location that a lot of people have not seen the potential yet. And
Mm,
please, bookmark or save this video, whatever you want to do on this video.
mm,
It's going to maybe next 5 years from now, 3 years from now, if
mhm,
you come back to this video, Ibadan is going to be an explosion, whether you like
mhm,
it or not. Now,
mm,
when it comes to documentation, Ibadan is it's seamless, it's easy, it's very cheap. When it comes to security of your properties, it's very, very secure compared to when in Lagos is quite, people are exposed. There's a lot of education in Lagos when it comes to the land. Everybody knows that Lagos is now hot cake. You know,
mhm.
in the next
Everybody
one or
open
two
eye.
don't tear high. So in the next 1 or 2 years, for you to be able to afford a property in Lagos, you gotta be at maybe middle class and above middle class. After a while, to be above middle class. Write it down. I'm telling you, even developers, we to buy property right now in Lagos, we have to now do calculations, just to make sure we are making good game before we buy properties. So
Mhm,
it's quite a lot. It's still good for people that have invested earlier,
mhm,
but the new opportunity now is in Ibadan or your
mm,
state. Now, Ogun State is closer to Lagos than Ibadan. Why? But Ogun State is more of a commercial hub when it comes to industries and the rest. When it
mm,
comes to residential,
mm,
flipping of land and making cool cash, it's Ibadan. So we have 3 estates in Ibadan. Now we're about to launch 2 other estates also, but because we might launch it before 25th, but if not, we'll just push it to January to launch another
mhm,
estate in Ibadan. So it's phase 3 at Yanofa Gidi Gidi, close to that. That's Olodo Road. If you know Olodo in
mm,
Ibadan, close to Bowen University. It's a very fantastic land, 100% dry land, with the sea of O title. Then also, we have projects coming up in Lagos also, Ekpe, but it's not going to be cheap. No more cheap
mm.
line Ekpe again. Ekpe is
Yeah.
very expensive because a
Yeah.
lot of places in Ekpe now are suspended because there's a lot of development coming up there. So definitely Lagos is going to stop documentations. They've stopped documentation for a while so that people they can organize the place as much as possible.
Mhm.
Then they will now release documentation. So a place is going to be selling. We're launching the estate, Cedar Clove Estate. It's going to be a very good place where you can also buy and build.
Can you
Also, we have
give
another
us a
one
hint
coming
on
up.
the location in Ekpe, or that will be for
Location, okay,
later?
location. That will be for later. Yeah, will be for later. There's
Okay.
another one also. This one is already, but this one it's buy and it's not. It's not a lot of property, like a lot of land. This one's already
Mm-hmm.
buy and build. We're looking at partner with people. So how you can actually come on board if you're interested. I'm not going to give you a conventional way of saying, "Boom, buy land from Boom, buy land." We also, what we do is that I'm also I have a little idea about financial intelligence or my financial exposure. What I mean by that is that I tell people
Literacy.
about illiteracy. Yes, that's the word. Whereby we tell you how to manage your money. We run it together. Not just put your money in land. There is I tell people don't buy land. I'm not going to take your money if you don't have a purpose for your money. Because what the purpose of buying of putting money somewhere abuse you don't even know because some people just have money and people are buying real estate. All your neighbors have bought. You want to go and buy? No, don't
Mindlessly.
go and eat your money. It's better you just go somewhere, go to one Ikoyi and lodge in one place and enjoy your money than
You
buying real estate. No,
burn
I
it.
don't do that. I don't do that.
This is
I'm
the
funny
cheerful coffee.
because there's different aspects of real estate. There's land banking, which a lot of people, are doing. That's a lot of. There's no billionaire in Lagos who's not into this thing, unless maybe I doubt because land banking it means you go buy bulk land and you hold it for a while. You hold it.
Mm,
That's the power of land banking.
mm,
Now, a land where I bought some years at 750 now is 20 million in 2.5 years in Ekpe. So imagine somebody bought 100 acres at 750,000. Some people have the money. Now it's 20 million naira. It's not magic. It is what we see every day. Do you
mm,
understand? So that's the way you can do land banking. You buy your partner and say, okay, now as you're acquiring properties, I do the whole documentation, going to meet the government, all those kind of things. So it's easier for investors to come and partner on that level. Okay, bro, you're buying 100 acres, I need 20 acres, I need 30 acres. I want this, and that. Land banking, you secure your land, your property in your name and everything. Good. Then there's also in partnering in sponsorship. Now, in sponsorship, it comes in, sometimes a family, for example, now they have maybe 1,000 acres. That's 1,000 acres. That's about 6,000 plots thereabouts. Yeah, so they want to do documentation to see of what we do as developers. We have the money, we get the funds, we fund either the documentation or the funding. Maybe they want to do a road. They want to open up the community for people, investors to come. We help them open the community. We help them also do the road, light.
mhm,
If they want light, we add those things, and they pay us in land. So, for example, now one plot or an half plot per acre, what they pay us. For example,
mm,
so
mm,
with that 6,000 plots, we are ending up with 1,000 plots by just helping them doing the documentation of the land or helping them clear the land or do a road or bring infrastructure to that location. So that's another way to also make money. So instead of just okay, I'm selling land at 5 million naira per plot, come and buy. But this is a platform that Uche, we expose some of these things to people, to investors to come and
mhm.
partner and buy and make
Benefit as
cool
an
cash.
off taker.
Off takers, yes, that's
Yeah.
the essence. Also coming up, we're also doing some beauty projects also in Lagos and Ibadan, but more of
Mm,
joint ventures. Also investors can come in also on that, and also we can partner on how to build a long. What we do probably today we are trying to do in our own development aspect is that we hear from our clients, we hear from our partners. What do you want? Then we use what they have, what they
mhm.
need to
What do you
create that
need?
magic. Not that we just
Mm-hmm.
create a design and just put that there, come and buy. No, we
Mm,
hear, we listen. It's going to be a platform that want to do that, but then again, that is coming on board very soon. So that's basically how you can actually partner or come on board in one of these projects.
mm, mm. So just to distill it, so you can
Yeah,
come in by being like buying for estates that you're about to launch, like as in pre-launch, buying in bulk from you, then or partnering with you to sponsor to get from the family, and then they get a portion of it. You can also um actually joint venture, like partner with you
yeah,
for your
beauty
development that
project.
you have coming as well. And you know, just contact us, and we'll be able to help you in all of these areas that you need. And so I mean, Dr. Jerry, you're a man
Yeah,
of like really 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 big things. So right now it may not be something that you're working on currently, but
Okay.
tell us what is the next, like, not anything you are actually currently doing, but what do you
Okay.
think is the next big thing that you will do very soon, probably in the next couple months or in the next couple years?
Okay. Apart from land banking, selling land, building apartments and stuff, the next thing coming on board is agro and technology. That's agro tech.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
we've been
interesting.
something has been on the pipeline. We're going to create a mini agro city and create the biggest. I'm just careful of sharing these ideas here, but then again,
But there
for
are
more
people
of
that are doing it. Like, so that guy,
no,
there
I
was one
think
guy we saw at the gym,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
CEO of Symbolic. Yeah, they
No,
did the
but then
first
again,
one.
that is true. That is in real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
More of it's still under, but this one is then again is quite unique. I've
Okay.
been working with a couple of tech guys on something
Oh,
related to
okay.
it. Yeah, yeah. So
Interesting.
it's more like it's a merging of real estate, agri, and tech. So
Mm-hmm.
a real estate person that as investor can come in, you can make money there. It's like a mini city. Um,
Mm.
there's tech aspects, research institute. So it's how will I put it now? It's like
Mm.
a universe in a city, like a university kind of agro tech. I don't know.
Kind of
But then
vibe.
again, when it comes out,
Wow.
whenever it
Wow.
comes out, I
So
think I'm going to
is it
push
gonna
out
be
there.
like Isimi Lagos?
Uh,
Okay. I
oh,
see you're not able to reveal too much.
yeah, I
All
don't leave it
right.
to very good.
All right.
But it's on the
All
pop
right.
like come on, work a lot of resources and work has been put on there because that's gonna be a huge thing, because the truth is
Mm-hmm.
that I'm gonna put it out there now, right? Um real estate is just beyond buying land and houses.
Mm-hmm.
Real
Mm-hmm.
estate can
Mm-hmm.
save the
100%.
future of Africa in the sense that when it comes to agri and the rest, when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
tech, everybody has to do is come back to real estate.
Yeah,
Oil and
definitely.
gas, everything comes back to you. So whatever you do out there, just make sure you own real estate. Just make sure
Mm.
you own real estate. It is
Yeah.
the anti-rust, anti what they call it against inflation, anti-inflation
Inflation.
proof or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Inflation proof. That's very interesting. In our Canadian event that we just finished, so one of our sponsors, she said, and in fact, it's even common sense. People need to eat, and so
Mm-hmm.
if you're doing agriculture, like there's no way you can actually fail, except you
Mm.
like you really really use your hand to destroy. There's something that she said, but if she actually saw a platform that it was now also not just mechanized, those using hoes or whatever cutlass, but there's a mechanized way, the way the Chinese do it, that she would definitely invest. And I've actually not had this conversation with him. So just to even see that he's already thinking in that level, like tech and agriculture, I can't wait to see like what you come up with. And of course, this platform, he would always come, and this is always open for you to start to roll out your ideas when the time comes. So thank you so very much. Dr. Jerry, do you have any parting words, anything to say to the people before we wrap up?
Mm. All right. I think I'm going to say like a cliche. Is it a cliche? Or let me just put it out there. You cannot feature in the future in no picture.
Mm,
Well, now I didn't. It's not to rhyme. Does not. That's not the intention. That's not.
mm,
But then again, it makes sense in the sense that the truth is that what do you picture in your future?
mm,
In the future of your children, what's your value language? Do you value
mm,
inheritance? Do you value
mm,
what else again? What's your value when it comes to your future? Are
mm,
are just going to stay there and fold your hands and just watch it? No. What do you picture? So your future is not about tomorrow; it's about what you do today. If you start learning
mm,
French today, your future will be close to France or anything related to French. If you start learning music
mm,
today, your future will
mhm,
be anything that has to do with music. So if you start thinking real estate today, your future is going to be security when it comes to real estate for your children
mm,
or born children, right? My for example, I'm going to end with this. My wife's mother got some millions from her father's estate, and then she's
mm,
70,
mm,
right? Getting things from her father. So imagine that's like see the gap. She's still getting
mm,
things, money from her father's estate.
mm,
My wife's mother. So imagine such thing. I'm thinking that my children, man, my grandchildren that will keep benefiting from us, because it's not just about wishing and working. Because it's true that you work a lot, you save, you do, but then again, begin to work towards that a step today. Take a step today to
Mm,
secure the future that you want
mm,
to, feature. So picture it today, then take actions, immediate
mm.
actions for that. So that's what I want to end today's session with. Yeah.
That's so deep. I'm sure that will give like lots of people a lot to think about. Because also seeing that even like your work life, it is finite. So for some people it's 20 years, some people it's 40 years if you're strong enough. But you have to get to a point where you cannot trade your time for money. So it's things
Mm-hmm.
like real estate that are now able to work for you when you can no longer trade your skills or your time for money. And that's just the perfect place to leave it there. So if you're interested in the amazing things he's doing, you can contact me. I'll facilitate that call and see how you can partner for investors, off takers, or if you just want to also just buy land. This is Ibadan project, the Ekpe project as well. Thank you so much as always, Dr. Jerry. It is it is a very very impressive what you've done in such a short time, coming from a struggling realtor, uninitiated, and now a developer that's just going from strength to strength. From was it? Was it Awoyaya? Yes, your office Ikota. So maybe the next
Mm-hmm.
your next office is in the Ikoyi.
Yeah,
And
man.
yes, so wonderful. We're very proud of you, and
Thank you.
very very glad to call you my friend. And it's always a pleasure when we actually sit down. And the reason why I actually started even recording this conversation is that it's just so inspiring to me every time we talk, that I believe that the whole world actually needs to hear it. So thank you so very much again for coming. We hope to see you really, really soon again.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank you so
guys.
much. Thank you.
So kindly like, kindly share, kindly subscribe, drop a comment, and reach out to us. See you on the next episode of the show. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
My village just be like this. So that's why
Jerry.
I fear the water. I feel the swim goes on. Just invest it.